Folks, if you're watching at home, this is a jarring new locale for the Skullet Podcast. We're moving. This is a mobile pod now. Settle up, settle in, get ready. Folks, we have an amazing guest. To my right, put your hands together, folks, for Alex Dragicevich.
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's good to be in Michaela's room right now.
Yeah,
This
we
is
are.
great.
We have we've changed locations. If you're curious why we skipped an episode, is because our fair producer Tim nearly died in the attic, and his mother luckily was there because Tim and I do live together, and had she not been there, Tim would have not been here.
Yes. That's what I've heard. It's good to see that you're doing well, Tim.
Yeah, how you doing, man? Update. How are you doing? Health update.
I don't know. Feel fine. Feel better. It's better than being dead. It would have been bad if I would have died in that attic. I mean, how many days would I rotted up there before you found me?
And more importantly, would we have ever gotten a podcast out? Probably
That's
not.
true.
No, you would not have.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I was worried when you were telling me like, hey, like we can do this pod. My roommate's got sepsis, whatever. I was like, I didn't really. I was like, maybe we don't do the pod, but seems like you're doing okay, right? I mean, if Michaela is okay with being around him, it seems like
Yeah, so he's not.
she's kind of my North Star in that, from the medical sense.
Yeah.
You know?
So we're recording this in Michaela's loft. She very graciously let us record here because the house that we typically record is probably just ravaged with contaminants. And Tim's mother has been there, and she's been cleaning up, doing
No
the Lord's
shit.
work. Yeah.
You put your old mother to work and to
But don't call her old on the podcast.
clean up your sepsis.
She volunteers.
Your very young mother was there cleaning
My
up.
26-year-old mother. Clean the house, yes.
Yeah, so she's been taking things out of the fridge and stuff and just wiping down everything. And Tim's been moaning and groaning and stuff. But anyway, we're able to do it. We're able to do the pod. Glad Tim is here and glad we're joined by you today, man.
No, it's good to be here. Been taken in Pittsburgh, and I'll come back in a few years maybe.
Yeah, you got a good. That's a good amount of time to come back. Just see how much things have changed. If they're
Interesting
still
place.
bricks.
Well, I do wonder about didn't really know how hilly it would be, and what I'm piecing together is that it probably gets very cold, and it definitely snows here.
Yeah.
Why? How do people die? Like, what's
People die from the snow.
like? It's just like the way that cars must get fucking just destroyed sometimes, right?
Yeah. Transmissions don't really last very long in this town.
Well, it's just I'm like even if you do your emergency brake or whatever, I imagine cars can just fly down hills sometimes.
Totally. There's been times where I've been invited places and I'm like, I can't make it.
For real.
It's
Yeah,
too
yeah,
icy. I eventually find different routes, but the route that Google Maps typically goes is only if you have a 4-wheel drive and not a very old Nissan Versa, which I drive.
Yeah. Have you ever been going up or down a hill and being like, well, this is a risk? I imagine that happens all the time up here, right?
Yeah, Tim.
I mean, even where we live, it's like the alley by our house, I can't even go up that in the winter.
Yeah.
You just be like, oh, got to go a different way.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of streets like that. It is very inconvenient.
No, it sounds like on paper, when you say it, the hills, they're crazy. It sounds like, I think maybe some listeners might be like, wow, this is not very exciting stuff. No, but it's no, it's really bad. I don't know how people live
There's actually
here.
a pretty big Instagram account. Go to the hills of Pittsburgh or something. And just this lady driving around showing the hills of Pittsburgh. So it's interesting enough that she has gotten millions of views just driving down hills.
No, I was doing Grubhub for a little bit, and there are times where I would just park my car, and it would just be at this kind of an angle, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, well, this is worth the $2.50 I got in tips,
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's it's hilly. It is it all makes sense. There's it's very hilly. Very hills have eyes. There's mutants that live here.
Yes.
People are.
You
yeah,
did
a lot of garbage people.
You said on stage, you said something about there being a lot of just fat, attractive people.
The hottest fat people in the country. Hottest
Yeah.
fat people in the country for sure. Some people that could be attractive. That is a lot of Midwest cities. It's like you
Mm.
go to a lot of places and you're just like, man, like some of you people, it's just like a walk in a salad and you're like a hot person. But
Yeah.
the dynamic of the city, you know, you go to like Madison, Wisconsin, Columbus, Ohio, or Cleveland, you know, you're just like, yeah, some like hot fat people. It's structurally they're there. The bones like did the work.
Yeah.
Their genes are great.
Sure.
Their decisions are not.
I think it has to do with the hills, and I think it's typically it's that they're going downhill. You know,
Sure.
they're just deciding never to go up the hill.
Yes, everyone's always some of you should go uphill a little
Yeah.
bit more. Yeah.
That's true.
That makes sense. No, dude, it's fucking. Honestly, I'm excited to see this. I've seen like Cranberry.
Yeah.
I've seen what? Where was the place last night?
Last night was in where the hell was? Oh, it was Allentown, like Mount Washington.
Yeah, someone was like, "Oh yeah, people get shot over there." So I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't say that. I don't know. Is that a bad part of the city? I don't know.
I guess it is. I mean, the ad said Mount Washington. It is in Allentown, but listen, you know, look, we'll do anything to sell tickets.
People get shot everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Someone got shot in my hometown the other day. In a small
Yeah.
hometown. I mean, people just get shot. You know?
Yeah, he lives in Detroit.
Yeah.
He's from Detroit, so you know. It's,
You just called Detroit a small hometown.
I'm not from Detroit.
no, he's from
Oh,
Ohio.
I was about to say.
I'm from O Block actually, just small town.
No, dude. Yeah, it's been. But tonight, I'm excited too. So we'll see how it goes so far, man.
Dude, it's actually really cool to have you here specifically during this time because this is March Madness, and you were a college athlete.
I played at Notre Dame and Boston College. I always say this, man. I just feel like if you're my height, if you're 6'6" and you didn't play a Division I sport, you're just such a loser. You know, you really fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it should be. I feel like to some people it might be impressive to have played or whatever, but I just think if you my height and you didn't play, like it's just very what happened, you know?
Yeah.
Where did you go wrong? But I did, and I got to play in March Madness. We lost to Xavier. We were a 7 seed. They were a 10 seed. We lost on a lane violation.
Oh, that sucks.
And I also played against Florida State. Florida State beat us by 25. We were a 2 seed. They were a 10 seed. And that was some interesting experiences. But it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy time to when you play in the tournament. The practice before, the entire national media like comes in the locker room, like 60 reporters come in. So even though on my team, like I was like a 6-man, like I was playing probably like half the game, like you know, just kind of coming in, chucking a couple threes. I was one of those white guys, you know. I was like, will he make? You know, hopefully he makes a couple. But and you know, they're always asking. The questions are always so broad. I feel like they're always like, "What do you have to do to win?" It's just like, we gotta score a couple more points.
God, yeah.
And then, but yeah, some people, it's crazy. It was crazy to be like a 6-man and have like 10 reporters around me.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like MJ for a second, you know. So, but it was cool, man. It's a really cool experience.
Do you think that they're like that they go back to wherever they're going with the news and they're like their bosses are like, you did a good job asking that incredibly broad question, like?
Yeah, I never. It's that's something that I like. You watch the sideline reporters. Sometimes I think some of the questions we don't really put a microscope on how bad they are. You know, like you know, I'm trying to think of like something, but they'll like so. I think the reporters try to corner the player into a question.
Oh,
where they'll be like, you know, what were your like, you know, were you frustrated like with how he guarded you, or were you frustrated by this? And the guy's just like, I'm not even thinking about that right now. But no, it's been so long, and I feel like there's better media training now too.
for sure, yeah.
Like all those like sketches and stuff like that about how like athletes are like, it was a good team win. Like, I think they're better now at being like, they're trained now to be like to like enunciate and talk better and shit like that.
When I was thinking about you was thinking about you coming on the podcast, I was actually curious. So you're talking about like media training and like there's that video of that guy that kind of like people really bashed him, and it was kind of this kind of viral moment when they asked he got bounced, I guess, from tournament or like a championship or something, and they asked him like what's he gonna miss the most?
And he said, going out to eat.
Yeah.
That was my roommate.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it was Dennis Clifford.
No way.
I played on Boston College with him. Yeah. I played at Notre Dame for 2 years and Boston College for 3 years. He was my roommate. He's like one of my really good friends. And I graduated the year before, so he stayed an extra year. And I remember when he said, because like, dude, I will say this though, when we went out to eat, it was pretty fun.
Oh my God, dude. Whoa.
Yeah, because like also it's like
you gotta tell me about going out to eat. What?
So like all these major schools, man, it's so funny dude, that he said that. Well, because it's kind of true. Like all these major schools, like they have a lot of money. You fly private a lot.
Oh, nice.
And you know, when you head into a town, like you go to like Blacksburg, Virginia, to play Virginia Tech. You go to wherever, you know, Madison, Wisconsin to play. It's like some of these, you go to these mid-sized towns, like for a school like that to pay for a nice dinner, it's not that much money for them. So you're staying at like the nicest restaurant or the nicest hotel and you're going to the nicest restaurant. So you're eating like amazing food.
Oh,
like
yeah,
when we were in Indianapolis to do like the crosstown. We were playing Indiana the next day, and like we like Indiana's best steakhouse is St. Elmo's, and it's apparently like for like rich people, whatever. And it's like we were there, and it was like fucking, and it was, you know, we're 19-year-old kids just like eating. So it's like when you do that for 4 years, when you eat at like the best restaurant a college town has to offer, or a city has to offer for 4 or 5 years. He kind of like makes a good case. He's like, and at BC, like we lost a lot. Like we were not a very good team. So it's like I ate like, dude, I did like surf and turf probably 50 times.
Whoa.
Like
Yeah.
market price, dude. Like fucking fire it up, you
Huh.
know. So it was like
Yeah.
it was just, and like a veteran move I learned pretty quickly was like, because again, like it's just going on some black card that like whatever the university has.
Right.
So it's like the veteran move. You get the surf and turf. You get like the calamari to start. Then you get like whatever the nicest meal they have is, or whatever the most expensive thing is. And then you'll be like, once you order your entree, you'll be like, oh, can I also get like this appetizer and this appetizer to go, like, for your hotel? So we're all like spending like, you know, $120 a head. Like we're all just like getting all this food. And so he makes it. It's like it was fucking fun to going out to eat like at those schools. Is like awesome. It's truly awesome. So I think people think that you're like that we're going to like Panera Bread or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. No,
That's
like,
true. That is true.
At those schools, like you're eating like the best. You're eating great.
Huh.
That's a good defense for him, yeah, because like I just pictured just hanging out with the boys in the cafeteria. That's what I thought it was.
Me
Like
too.
it is fun. Like it is a fun experience. But when you add that, you know, I think that the people wanted to know, and I think they have the answer now. You know,
That's a dude. That's so kismet. But my favorite part of this whole thing, when you actually were talking about your meal, like how you do it, was the look of Tim's eyes. Looking, he was like in love. Just Tim loves it.
Tim really, really taking down a serve. And
not after those oysters. I'll tell you what.
So,
It's good.
yeah, that's what you thought might have got you, right?
I mean, I had a huge weekend: oysters, steak, dim sum. So who knows what was the cause? But all of it sounds disgusting now.
Right.
When Tim was sick, you know, obviously we were very concerned, and I did ask him if he had any theories about what caused his sickness.
Yeah.
And we've had some like, you know, like friendly like roommate spats of like, you know, Ronnie, stop leaving raw chicken in the refrigerator and stuff. So there was a moment where I was like, you know, I did have like an Urkel moment there for a second.
Wait, did you? So what do you mean leave raw chicken in the?
I think
fridge?
it's fair for me to explain this.
Yeah, because like raw chicken in the fridge, that would also make me a little upset. Where were you? Do you just have like a plate of raw chicken?
No, it's not like that.
Is it like in the Tupperware or something like that?
Well,
or?
I mean, there's two chicken incidents. The first was the raw chicken into the ice tray in the freezer.
Oh,
so
that's
was
gonna smell bad, right?
Well, I mean, it
wait,
just gets
in the ice tray
on top of the ice that you put in your drinks.
It was wrapped up. This was wrapped up.
It was wrapped
yeah,
up.
That's still
exactly right.
Yeah, that's
so I had to dump the ice and sanitize it, and then I had to turn off the ice. So then the water
you gave him sepsis.
the water line froze. Whatever.
This was a while ago though. This is previous.
2 weeks ago, there was an incident with the a bag of frozen chicken that was left in the fridge for a few weeks. So
It wasn't a few weeks.
week and a half.
Okay.
Enough for it to melt, and then all the juices just to get on everything else in the bottom.
What?
But
Dude, Ron.
listen,
Dude, you're looking pretty red.
But
yeah.
But the timeline.
and it wasn't. If it was salmonella, I would have been like, for sure, this was from Ronnie, but it wasn't. So
See?
Okay.
See?
he's cured.
Sorry. Yeah.
Listen,
sorry to-
look, I was texting Michaela, just be like, hey, what's the chances?
So that is what I want to ask. Like, when did you feel? Because like this is like how my mind would work. It would go immediately. Obviously, your friend's important, but I would immediately go to like self-preservation, and like I would be for if my roommate had what he had. As I even told you over text, I was like pretty like worried about the situation.
Mhm.
It's like I overreact to this stuff.
Sure, yeah.
How did you handle like if my roommate had that?
Yeah.
I would be like, well, I'm just gonna not be here for a week or something like that. Like, or how did you deal with it?
I don't really think about things like that.
Yeah. What did your
so-
doctors say about getting about like how whatever what's the word contagious you might be or something like that? Like, what did they say?
I mean, I'm not contagious.
Yeah.
The thing is, like wherever I got it, who knows?
Oh, so what you were more worried about is like where you could have where it could be in the house then.
That's what I mean. Because the thing is, it just lives on surfaces. So it's like,
Yikes. Yeah.
so, but I mean, we disinfected everything, people. So I mean,
your mom took the hit.
I mean,
if she
and
did.
she
she's
didn't get
fine.
sick.
She's fine. Yeah. So it's probably safe, but we take all precautions here at the Skullet Podcast.
So you probably got it from somewhere,
Yeah.
brought it home,
Mm-hmm.
blamed Ronnie for a couple days.
He probably got it from somewhere, probably in the freezer.
Yeah.
Drinking water in my own house.
Right.
So,
Damn.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm not good. I remember like when I was starting in Chicago, I was maybe 3 years in or 2 years in, something like that, and I got my first feature weekend at Zany's in Chicago, and I was like so pumped. I was so excited.
Huh.
And then like so it was gonna be like it was actually a week, so it was supposed to be Wednesday to Sunday to feature.
Oh, that's
like
nice.
the clubs used to do like longer bookings like that, and I remember my roommate got food poisoning. And this was like from Monday to Wednesday night to Wednesday morning, I stayed, like I crashed on a friend's couch, and I wore the same outfit to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I was so concerned. So like Monday night, I just like packed up and left. I was like, dude, I can't be around you. If you get me sick, stayed at a friend's place. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I worked in the same outfit back-to-back days. I was kind of had an outfit repeater moment, but it was I was just so like I'm not gonna be in this place for 48 hours while you're. Is that crazy?
I used to be more of a germaphobe, and I've kind of grown out of it. I will say.
Wait, once you beat sepsis.
Well, I mean, well,
It's been a couple days, and I've grown as a person.
yeah. I'm just like, once you like,
invincible.
once you look death in the face, you're just like, nah, I'm just not really scared of germs anymore.
I am germ. I think Ronnie has really impressed me. You know how like there became that eating raw meat on the internet, and then everyone's kind of like, wait, you can just do that and not get sick?
Yeah.
I've really been scared of like foodborne illness and all the kitchen safety, and Ronnie has none of it, and Ronnie's never sick. So I'm like, it's made up. There's no way it's real. There'll be some in the fridge for a week and a half, and he'll just be like, and eat it and meat, and it's fine. I mean, you've never got sick, right?
I don't know, dude.
I'm
I don't
telling
know.
you, I've seen it.
So my buddy, shout out to my buddy Tommy Brennan is a great comic in New York.
He did our show once.
He was opening for Kelsey Cook last year, and Kelsey Cook almost died from eating a bad taco I think it was like, I forget where it was, but they're on the road somewhere, maybe like in North Carolina or something like that, like maybe out of Good Nights. I think she had a food truck taco and was in the hospital for like maybe a day and a half.
Damn.
And then, so it's like, because you have all these years go by of like not getting food poisoning, you're so careful, and you're like, nothing can happen. And then like something like Kelsey, I'm just like, okay, I'm back to square one. I feel like with my hypochondria, you know what I'm saying? Obviously you feel like this was your moment. You can't get like, you're not getting sepsis twice, you know.
Lightning
like,
doesn't strike twice, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about the odds like that, you know, it's that must be comforting. Like this was your sick moment for probably a decade.
Got out of the
hopefully.
way. Yeah, I mean, I'm no podcast next week, so I died.
yeah. No, dude, it's that's pretty fucking gnarly, honestly. You know.
It was wild. It was fun.
Did you lose weight?
That's the crazy part. I didn't. I didn't eat for like.
Damn,
Dude,
that hurts.
The worst part is I was like extremely dehydrated, and they wouldn't
Yeah.
let me drink
Oh.
water because they didn't know something ruptured inside of me. So like, why is this guy dying?
Oh.
Whoa.
So they had me. I had like this thing stuck into my wrist. It's like arterial line. I'm just like laying there, and they wouldn't let me drink, and I had like vomited everything up at like 4 a.m. So it's like 5 p.m. and I'm like, please. Just give me water, and they're giving me a sponge and like rubbing it around my mouth, like some kind of
sponge
like a prisoner of war like portrait thing. I was like, just one drip, please.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's really, really interesting. So they were like, if we give you water, we don't want it to fuck up one
they
of
didn't
your
know if I
organs?
had to go under like emergency surgery, and if they gave me water, then I went and then like choked on it when I was in surgery, they'd be like liable. So they just wouldn't give me water. And I'm almost curious if that's why I went septic. I'm like dying of dehydration, and they're just like, we can't give you any water. So,
Wow, that's really fucking So it could have been food poisoning that turned it into.
I mean, it was food poisoning. That then my body went into shock because it was like so. I don't know, like my blood pressure was so low and everything. So it wasn't like whatever I got was so bad. I got something normal that like shouldn't kill you, and
Sure.
for some reason, it just almost killed me.
Dude, I thought I got food poisoning from the Albany Funny Bone. I thought because I got it from like their Caesar salad or something like that. Turns out, in hindsight, it was literally in the height of norovirus. It was like December like 19th or something like that. And when I was in the hotel, I had to miss the show.
Oh,
like,
shit.
The shows that night. It was Saturday. Woke up, and I had it for like maybe 24 hours. But I was certain for a while that it was food poisoning. But then I got back, and it was norovirus. Have you guys had it yet?
Yeah.
That's what I had.
Wait, did I have it? I
Oh,
don't
really?
remember.
No. Do you think that's
It was. I did have the norovirus, and it turned.
wait this thing?
Yeah, this cycle.
Damn.
Yeah, saying
I
didn't
had
kill
it
you.
too, brother.
Yeah,
This shit sucks. Wait, how do you pinpoint that it's norovirus?
they can test you and they like find it in you.
Oh, so that's what you had. Why didn't you say that earlier?
I thought he told you. I thought Ronnie told you. That's what lived
No.
on the surfaces. That's what we didn't want to give you. Was like because I guess it can live on surfaces for like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have some kind of. I mean, maybe they just didn't catch it. I didn't have some kind of mysterious.
Yeah,
Like-
brother. I had it in December. So it's I definitely got I don't know where I got it. You know, when you're on the road all the time, you're just like something.
And that's got to
Who
be
knows,
bad.
man?
Getting
Yeah.
that on the road.
Brother, in like a shitty. I mean, actually, the hotel was fine, but like it was to be in a hotel with norovirus. It'd be just to be in Albany with norovirus is like
Nightmare.
I'm already in Albany.
Yeah.
You know, like, this sucks.
It's like Andrew Cuomo's your roommate. It's rough times.
Yeah. Just so to have that and then to have to like cancel on the shows was pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought it was. That's actually a good point. Because like pushing through a food poisoning to perform is one thing, but like pretty sure, 99% sure it was norovirus. I think the headliner who I was featuring for and the host and all the staff would have been very upset with me.
Totally. Yeah.
We had a one of my deployments I was on a submarine. Someone brought norovirus or something on the boat.
No.
Like probably 60 of us out of like 120 got it, and there's like
How many toilets?
5, and like and everyone had a shared bed, so it's like
What the fuck?
I was like laying on the floor
Whoa.
with an IV just on like a tile floor, just like laying there for like 24 hours. It was, I mean, people were vomiting in buckets, vomiting on the floor. It was
Jesus.
the grossest thing I've ever seen. in my
That's
life.
that's a
Wow.
horror movie.
That is so wild. Yeah, I still am gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it one more time. You send your mom in to fucking to take out.
We got a helicopter to
take
get my
out
mom
your fucking.
repelled down into the sub. My mom cleaned the submarine as well.
I can't believe that you got. I can't believe that you handled it with so you just didn't get worried about it and shit like that.
No, it's not really something I'm concerned about. I don't know. I think I was mostly staying here, but it's like
Yeah, I
I'd
feel
come
like
in and
Michaela
out.
would be like, "Hey, you probably shouldn't go over there for a while or whatever."
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's-
So
yeah.
it's fine.
Having a med student in your life is like a great.
It's great. It's great for me specifically because I don't have health insurance. So it's just like,
Yeah,
hey,
just-
does this, whatever.
If she's got to give you. I mean, yeah, you can get a physical whenever. Essentially,
Mm-hmm.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's a good time to ask now. I think we talked about it in the car a little bit, but I think that people should know: are you inching any closer to shaving your head? I think it's. I understand that this like you got a whole, but it's like ultimately a podcast is just a name, folks.
That is true. That is true.
And this
Former guest Dejan Alford was like, I think I was having like a moment or two of like, do I want to keep doing this? And I texted Michaela, and she was like running the show, and she was saying it, and then he's like, "Well, what are you gonna do with the podcast? Just call it a podcast?"
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's gotten to a point. I'm selling juice. I'm wearing hats constantly. I feel strange looking, and it's like it started out as a goof, and now it's like becoming like a living nightmare.
Right.
And
Right.
I realize this because, and I'm so sorry, Tim, to break it to you like this. Tim is, he's been putting a lot of time and effort in the pod and the artwork and stuff. And I don't know. I think it's like, I've realized that like, I don't have like I'm like, God, why do I have this hair? And then I realize like, I'm actually like, I am in control of it.
Right.
But it's like a thing that's almost like I don't have a choice. I'm like,
Right.
I'm just,
No, I mean, you look like you hang out in the wrong chat rooms. Like you are fully in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's gonna be, you're gonna get caught ASAP.
Yeah.
It's very
yeah.
much To Catch a Predator,
Uh-huh.
and that's
yeah.
And I feel bad for the people in your life that
Uh-huh.
have to deal with it, but
For sure. Yeah.
I imagine when you get out of the shower, it comes down to your shoulders. Like when the skullet touches your shoulder, you're
Yeah.
probably like, this is a low moment. When the skullet hits the back.
Yeah. It really kind of does depend on like, where I'm at in the day and the week and the months, Sometimes I look at it and it is nice to look at yourself and kind of you do laugh. It's like it is kind of like it's like a ridiculous choice that I've made. It's like it's kind of funny. It's like I've actually done this, but it is becoming, it's right now it's the burden on my shoulders is also it's in line with the hair on my shoulders.
Heavy as the head that wears the crown, Ronnie.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Tim. See, Tim is actually, we haven't spoken in a while, and actually I think this is why I'm at a low moment with the skullet, because Tim's always building up the skullet. You got to keep doing it.
Wait, why haven't you guys? Is it just because you've been sick?
Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody really.
Yeah.
This is like the first outing I've had.
Yeah. So you're
Beautiful.
catching us at a weird moment,
Yeah.
but we do appreciate you coming through.
No,
So
course.
anyway, I think we've had like almost an episode of House figuring out like what exactly it was like. It's been norovirus the whole time. We thought it was the oysters,
Yeah.
but
No, that's great. That's great to know. Do you feel like when a comic like cancels a show because they're sick, as a booker, are you like? I feel like anytime someone just like doesn't want to put the other comics at risk, I feel like that should be, like, I feel like they should be commended for it. But I feel like there is still people today who'll be like, you're canceling the show. You can't cancel on the show, and it's just like, dude, like if someone's sick, they're sick, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd rather than not be sick around people.
That's just how I feel. I don't know. I think some people. When I told people that I just stayed in the hotel at Albany, they were just like, you couldn't do the sets, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was dying. Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know. I hate like the comic kind of mentality with that shit. I think it's lame.
Well, I was actually kind of curious. How is it? You hung out with athletes for so long. Now you're hanging out with comedians for so long. It's like how are they the same?
How are they the same? I mean, definitely. They're definitely. I don't know what. Yeah, like if you put them on a Venn diagram, I don't know like what would be. There's some fucking competitive ass comics out there,
Sure.
man. There's some super competitive comics. I think that's true. Some people have a real drive that's equal, but on the same note, comics, like most athletes are, the athletes that I played with they're alphas, you know. Not a ton of alphas in comedy. I think a lot of comics. I think what makes most comics funny is like coming from, they're coming from a place of like self-deprecation, or it comes from like a lot of their stuff comes from insecurity, and a lot of great athletes, a lot of their success mentally comes from a place of just uber confidence. uber confidence. So I think that's a main. But I do think that there are some comics, man, who just, I think the drive is probably some comics, not on the whole. I mean, you could say the majority, like 90% of the athletes I played with, especially in college, were insanely driven. And I don't think I can say that about 90% of the comics that I've been around. So it's actually way less, a lot less in common. A lot less athletes drink a lot less.
Yeah.
Probably smoke as much weed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually probably the unifying factor between comedians and athletes is weed.
Huh.
I'll put my stamp on that.
Yeah.
Weed brings athletes and comics together without question. It brings everyone together, I think. So yeah, that's probably. I think your initial question was, how are they similar?
Yeah.
They get high. Both get really high.
Do you still play? Do you play like the comedians basketball?
Not really, Jai. I played with some comics like a few months ago, and I separated my shoulder.
Oh no!
I've separated it like 3 or 4 times, and I need to go to physical therapy for it badly.
Huh.
I really need to fix it because I had like a heckler. I had like a chiropractor, like a physical therapist heckler, because he was like, I was trying to do jokes about how I just separated my shoulder, and I was like, it's like my 4th time or something like that, and he was like, he shouted out. So the joke ended. I would go back into my notes, and he's like, "You got to get that fixed."
Oh no!
And I was like, "What are you, a fucking doctor, buddy?" And he's like, "I am. I'm a licensed physical therapist." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." And so like me and him go back and forth, and like the audience is digging it. They're having a good time. I go back in my notes for a second. Like there's this like a lull, and he goes, "Seriously, if you don't fix it, you're gonna have nerve damage." And I was just like, "Okay, dude, all right." Like he was like a heckler that was like genuinely super concerned.
Wow.
For my shoulder. So, yeah, that was good to have that guy, and people from my podcast have been DMing me who listen to it, who are in the space. They're like, "You got to get it fixed." So I'm not going to play until I properly go through those channels.
Yeah. So your podcast,
it's called You're an Idiot. It's with my co-host Jeffrey Asmus. We've got a good little pod in New York. It's fun. He's smart. I'm dumb. Hijinks ensue, folks. That's how it's done. That's how you get paid.
Do you feel like you're a dumb guy?
You know,
you were at college. You went to college.
Yeah, I did go to school. I should have probably read a little bit more. I just don't know. Jeff's just like, he's just so smart. He's not smart in any other sense besides like if he retook the ACT, he would do like very well.
Huh.
I don't think he could like navigate a meet and greet very well. I don't think he can navigate a networking event particularly well. So in that sense, he's not very smart, but he knows every fucking fact, every U.S. historical fact. I'll like look up like difficult questions, like trivia questions, and he just like nails them.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a fun pod though. We have a good time. We're really good friends, and
I'm guessing you guys had much different upbringings. He didn't seem like he was the athletic type.
Yeah, we found that like we're both like from like pretty by the book, like suburban, whatever. But he was not in a high level competition. He said like most practices when he did cross country, he like took a shit in the woods and like left his team.
No.
And, like he wasn't a very athletic guy. He wet the bed till he was like 13.
Oh god.
Or whatever. He's been through it, dude. His body has not had a great life. His mind has, for sure. His body's taking a fucking beating. But yeah, it's a good pod. It's fun. It's called You're an Idiot. Check it out, folks.
Yeah, I think Tim, you guys did film some stuff with him in Buffalo, right?
Yeah, I will say his memory is insane because like I met him like once in passing, and then like a year later he just like remembered my name, and it was very strange. Like, and like I see people in the crowd, and like his was a special or some stuff on YouTube. He just like remembers. He's like, "Were you at a show?" Whatever. So he has that like photographic type memories thing. It has to.
No, yeah, it's for sure. He's tizzed up.
Yeah,
he's tizzed up without question.
Has he ever? Because you guys are close, I assume, and like talk all the time.
Sure.
I feel like being friends with somebody like that, it's like you can't lie to them because they can probably poke a hole in anything. Like, actually, 3 months ago, you
Right.
told me this. Does that ever happen?
Well, normally, it's better to be like a truth guy in general. It's not just because. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Dude, your friend's got photographic memory. Like, how do you be a total piece of shit to this guy? How can you? Yeah, how
it's actually not Tim's mom that comes to visit. It's just
yeah. Tim's, yeah. Hey, mom, can you come clean the apartment? Nothing happened. I just need that old mom deep clean. Dude, how do you like fucking really sandbag your friend when he's got such a good memory? You can't lie ever. No, it's like, I mean, yeah, he does remember. It's interesting. He doesn't know, like, he remembers some things. Other things he'll kind of forget on. Like there's a couple times where he's been he'll text me like a week before a date and be like, "Can you come feature for me? I totally forgot to ask you." And I'm just like, this is stuff. But again, that is not something that information he already took in, which is probably the crux of it. Where it's like, if he reads something, he'll probably remember it. But like in terms of like shit like that, like the logistics of stuff like that, he's not like great. He's got a lot going on, I imagine. But yeah, I don't really lie to him that often. You're right.
Wow.
I don't lie to him as much as I would like to. It's so funny, dude. Dude, it sucks.
Cannot
man.
recommend that. I don't know. You
Fucking-
gotta lie to your friends, according to Tim. I guess.
But yeah, man, it's I like doing it. I get to go on the road with him a decent amount. I also go on the road with like Lucas Zelnick, and I've been doing my own headlining stuff the past like year or two. So it's been like it's been pretty busy, man. But it's cool to see the country. You know, I imagine you get to go out a decent amount too. You know, it's fun, man. It's been a good time.
It is nice. I think like you're just he's been staying with Trevor, and I think it just like the idea like you're staying in different places and stuff. I feel like it's like to have like a normal routine and feel like not like out of sorts regularly. Do you have any like strategies you do, or just like this is like what I would do when I'm away?
I think now with traveling so much, I just try to find things to look forward to and stuff like that. I try to look forward to you know, it's kind of lame, but like when I get to a place or when I know where I'm staying, I always try to figure out like a coffee shop nearby. I'll like do reviews. I'll go into like comment sections.
Oh my gosh.
Some people will just write scathing reviews.
Wow.
For a fucking coffee shop. Some people, it is crazy the time on some people's hands, how fucking
For sure, yeah.
brutal they can be to like a business. But it helps me ultimately. So I try to find like a coffee shop I want to do. Try to find like a good sandwich spot, like a good wrap. And I'm always very like taken aback by like a lot of like mid-sized, smaller cities. Like some cities, like they just don't have a healthy option.
For sure.
Know? Like you'll go to a place and they'll be like, "Oh, like, we have wraps here," and then like you look at the wraps and it's like chicken fried this, but they would put mozzarella sticks in it, and we also have it's like with chipotle mayo, and I'm like, well, that's just like a high school lunch in a wrap, like wrapped up. It's a very like a lot of college towns have like shit like that. But dude, hey, what we go to
Primanti's, yeah, we got a Primanti's fan over here, dude.
That shit was
Really?
fucking good.
It was good, dude. We went.
Wow.
It was a good Primanti's, yeah.
Which one was it?
It was in Cranberry.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
What do you mean?
I mean, because we haven't been to that one.
Oh,
You know, And that's like a bigger one with a parking lot and everything,
East
right?
Liberty's been. Listen, we're connoisseurs of Primanti Brothers. Okay, so we're going on. We've been to all of them. Tim actually almost died of one in Strip District. So this has been a recurring theme of Tim just constantly having like
My health's been
seriously
going
health
down.
issues.
Yeah, for the
Do you
past
get
couple
sick
years.
a lot?
I mean, past like 2 years. Yeah, I don't know.
I think we also have mold in the house. It's a lot
And
of-
lead in the-
lead.
and
So
lead in
it's-
the
it's
water,
been
so.
quite a few things, but there's lead in the water in Pittsburgh apparently. So
Dude, my landlord just texted me. He's like, "Hey, can we do a lead inspection?"
oh my
today?"
god, really?
Is that bad?
Lead is bad. Yeah.
If you want kids,
Oh no, that's then fucking keep
it's
it.
it's a contraceptive, really.
Oh, if all lead does is just like nuke your sperm, then like can I like get that like in like bulk?
I mean, no,
I really hope that Michaela's not listening downstairs, and she's like,
Oh,
"There's no way
sorry.
that lead is doing way worse than that."
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen. Hey, leave it in the comments. But I'm pretty sure, as a grown man, the worst thing it does is just anything for your children. It can make your children have issues,
Your children will have brain
but
stuff.
you won't.
Great.
So drink it up.
Yeah, I mean, like I wish you can. Yeah, I want to like take it out of the water.
Pills.
And just-
Yeah,
yeah.
Supplement it.
Yeah, I want to do lead sups every day, 500 milligrams.
Male
of
birth
lead.
control. Everyone's talking about. Just
Dude, like,
taking
I'm
lead pills.
totally, yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, but I think so. I didn't know if the lead inspection was like an annual thing or like a maintenance thing.
It sounds like an emergency thing. Like they are
Oh,
like,
I didn't-
"Uh-oh, yeah."
I didn't fucking know that. I thought it was just like I thought he was just doing his like a yearly. So my roommate Dan was like, he's like, dude, I'm like filming something. He's like a sketch guy, Dan Carney. He's hilarious, but he was like, I'm filming something today. Can he come by in like a few days? And I was like, oh, I guess it's whatever. Maybe I should have been treated it like more of an emergency. I'm gonna call Dan after this. I can't lie.
Well, I mean, it's not like they can fix it. It's gonna be like if they have to fix it, it's gonna be like months probably. They have to like rip out pipes and stuff.
yeah, and also it's like we've been drinking
The damage is done,
yeah,
brother.
the water's
It's-
been in us. It's not gonna. There's not gonna be more lead in the next couple of days, I suppose. Yeah.
If anybody has any tips for how to get the lead out of our bodies or more into our bodies, please rate, review, subscribe. Really
Yeah.
remember, anybody that rates the podcast, leaves us a comment, we'll get a personalized sticker, and we will write a personalized note to you. I will write a letter to you. Please make sure you guys do that. Have you been watching anything or like reading anything lately?
Who? I just started White Lotus season 3.
I
They
like
always have a lady on that show who just like totally moves my needle, dude. Who
Yeah.
really fucking gets it going. Like, I mean, it is good. That's a show where you're bricked up like 20% of the time. You're a little nervous 20% of the time. You're a little bricked up. The dialogue's great. I don't watch a lot of television as much anymore. I think a lot of it's kind of bad. It just really kind of takes me. I think something happened to the writing in a lot of like mainstream media where a lot of it feels like disingenuous or like inauthentic, you know. And but like White Lotus, like it really does it for me. I really dig it. Like there was what was the show, God, I'm trying to think of the fucking the last True Detective,
Yeah.
the 4th season, ass, bad dialogue, shitty dialogue, just totally took me out of it. I hated it.
Oh, yeah. That was with Jodie Foster.
Yeah. Wait, by the way, before I go more into what I'm watching, I also appreciate you not asking what I've been reading. Did you ask that or no?
It was part of it, but have you been reading anything or watching anything? So I say watch and or read, but you know, it's like it's one or the other.
Do
you know?
books on do audiobooks count?
Sure, man.
I've been reading doing the audiobooks of like the old David Foster Wallace short stories. And
Oh,
those
hell
are
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those are actually really, really good. But I want to say this is like a bald guy podcast, right?
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself bald?
I think I've cured it at this point, but
Yeah, you have.
mhm.
I forgot. Yeah, I didn't think
I
about that.
I was once bald, but now
Should I worry about my hairline a little bit? Tell us, people. It's going back a little, huh?
I mean, we got to see it before.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what you've looked like. You know.
It hasn't
Let me
been.
get some. You have
It's
some.
not that
You
bad.
have
It's
college
pretty
pictures.
thick,
Let's
you
find
know?
those
Huh?
college pictures.
What's up?
I'm gonna find your college pictures and I'll let you know.
Yeah. Look it up. Yeah, you can. I mean, you Google my ass.
This is actually quite annoying because now I'm gonna have to. I'm editing the podcast. This is creating problems for me.
Oh,
now we're gonna do this whole thing.
Well, it's not. It's gone back like a little, but I just don't. Like, I've always kind of looked like a vampire, I suppose. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the Count Dracula kind of hairline. Yeah. I got that.
Widow's Peak. I think that's fine. I think it's like
It's
Ronnie with the skullet. I think it looks great.
Yeah, the Skullet guy. The Skullet guy's
James.
like, you have a ton of hair. What I think is so funny, man, is that like something like this is like to worry about. Like, this is like, it's funny that like this the hairline, this like is like a make or break for some women. Some women are just like, oh my god, a widow's peak is a fucking. As long as I don't go bald, I think I'm okay. But
if you go bald, you got to kill yourself.
Yeah, sorry, Ron, but
no, it's all good, man. No, I think it's fine. You know, people are into bald. People are into widow's peaks. You know, people are into man buns. You know?
When you go bald, you gotta do what you do. You gotta dress it up. You gotta do the glasses, maybe a little beard. Yeah,
you definitely do need a beard and or to be in shape. I mean, there's being fat and bald. It's just like that's just a tough fate. But there's some people that can kind of like you can send. And they're not even like bald. They're almost just like there's another thing about them. They're just like something else is just like, oh yeah, they're bald. I didn't even think about that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
You know, there's some. It's just like there's this like that was a tough thing though because it's like there's only so many different archetypes of like a bald guy. You know what I mean?
Do you feel now that you're more privy to it? Do you hate when bald guys have bald jokes?
I'm jealous.
Ooh. Okay.
So like a bald comic, you mean, or just a bald man?
Bald comic. Bald guy, like normal people, whatever. I don't care.
You know, there's a lot of different things. When you're a bald guy around another bald guy, that's tough because it's just like I can't tell the two of you apart. You know, it's a whole thing. It's like
no way.
Just two alphas in a room. They're gonna butt heads. Dude.
That's a constant thing. It's like I can't. It's like they're doing this. It's like divide and conquer. They don't want us to be around each other because then we'll fucking we'll plan things.
Yeah, that sucks.
But no, I'm jealous. There's certain bald jokes where I'm like, damn it, they got to it first. You know.
Yeah, that's true. At some point, yeah, like everyone goes, not everyone, but like a lot of guys go bald at some point.
Sure.
It's like the earlier, I guess, you can get to the jokes, the better.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the bald guys trying to trick people with like? I know you wear the hat a lot.
Sure, yeah.
How do you feel about bald guys trying to
the hatfish?
The hatfish. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. We have a whole culture.
Dude, I'm probably eventually I'm gonna have to shave this or like I'm gonna have to go just do a buzz. So I'm gonna look mad Serbian. Like I'm gonna look super. I already look pretty Serbian.
Can you do the accent?
Hello.
There it is. Yeah.
Alexander Dragicevich.
Yeah, you should be on a Nora.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I just I can't do it that well, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get like buff. You know.
But you're also tall. It's almost like you have something, Tim?
I don't know. I just gotta. I don't know. I was sitting there like that.
Whenever he has his hand on the button, I think he's gonna say something. You know,
I'm just always ready.
He's got
You're gonna
his
riff,
shark eyes.
You gotta riff.
I feel it building in me, and I gotta let it out.
Yeah, don't bunt on a riff, dude.
Yeah, he's been ready.
Don't
dude.
check swing on us like that.
You're freaking me out, man.
Do you feel mentally you're back now since the?
Not at all. I mean, this is the most energy I've had. Probably just being around people, but I was out, dude. I've slept like 18 hours every day since it happened.
So cool, man.
It is crazy. Like, because you usually don't sleep. You're just up in the attic going crazy.
Bro, maybe that's like the cure for insomnia. Get really
Sepsis?
sick and almost die. And he had blue lips. It was crazy.
Blue lips.
Blue lips, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You were in the hospital with blue lips.
Yeah, before the hospital. I mean, that's kind of the thing where I was like, I should probably go to the hospital.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, what did you think, Ronnie? Because I was like, that was like peak bad when I walked up in the kitchen, like no shirt, just like sweatpants soaking wet. I was just like,
Well, it was so unnerving because your mom was so cheerful. She's like, get away from Ronnie, Tim. You're going to get him sick.
Well, I was going to say, what I don't like is that this was like 4 days ago? How long ago was this?
Monday morning.
Okay.
So 5.
Yeah.
Right? Saturday.
Yeah, dude. What is this?
It's funny too, because like at my normal job, my boss was like, he's like, dude, come back Monday, because I was like, I'll be there tomorrow, and he's like, no. He's like, rest. I was like, okay. And then I'm like editing videos for people. I'm like doing the podcast. It's like, it's not even.
He was in the Navy, you know?
Yeah. I just, I mean, if you guys, Michaela okayed it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, we okayed it, but yeah, we're clearly exploiting Tim in his current form. So.
Yeah, as long as you're not contagious, I don't care what you feel like.
Yeah,
Perfect.
You could feel like absolute dog shit.
Hell yeah.
You could not want to be here.
This is actually the kind of talk that Tim actually really responds to. You know, anything that's like he saw Whiplash for the first time and he's like, "Whip me, tell me I'm a piece of shit," and I'm like, "Tim, get the reels out." He's like, "Yes, sir." You know,
get the reels.
I slap him in the face. You know,
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, dude, you're healthy. You're not getting us sick. You're a piece of shit.
So this is, you know, like I said, obviously we're on the Skullet Podcast. We're bringing it home now, and you know, obviously, like you know, I'm coming to terms with it. Dark Night of the Soul. Am I going to continue growing the Skullet? Tune in next week, folks. We'll see. But you know, when I first saw it, we talked about movies and stuff. There's this movie that I saw called Love Lies Bleeding. And Ed Harris in the movie, Ed Harris, like he's a bald icon.
Okay.
But he had this crazy skullet. And it was one of those movie theaters you can drink at. So I had a beer and I had like a Jack and Coke, and I was just in the right kind of headspace to be like, there it is. It's like the Leo meme, you know? I'm like, that's me, I'm going to do it. So that's when I was just like, maybe I should just grow up my hair. And then I was just like, I started out as a goof. And then as I kept doing it, you know, I got some detractors or whatever, and I was just like, fuck you, I'm gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
And then it became a thing of people like, hey man, the skullet's looking good, you know? That was months ago, now it looks terrible, but at the time I was like really going for it, and I was just kind of curious if there's anything in your life that maybe, like, you know, friends, family, loved ones, strangers on the internet were like, Alex, don't do this thing, what are you doing?
My Skullet was me doing starting stand-up in 2016 or whatever. Obviously, no. Nobody. The best friends in my life told me not to do stand up. Of course, yeah. I think they're good friends for that. But now we're here, and you know, it's this is the choice I've made. But I'm trying to think of something a little bit more lighthearted. I did in college. I grew out like the baseball dude, like pitchers goatee.
Yeah.
You know how like, so it was like, I don't know what kind of, I think that's a goatee, right? Where it's like here, it's like chin that attaches to the mustache.
That's a goatee, yeah.
So I grew out, like, I was 21 years old, and I grew out like a goatee for no reason. I have no idea why I did it. And I kept it for like maybe 6 months. I played with a goatee.
Oh, you played with a goatee?
Started against Duke with a goatee on, which in hindsight, mentally, where was I? where was I there? You know, like what was I thinking about? Can you imagine you're a Duke player, you're lining up against a white guy with a goatee, you're like, well, I'm gonna put 50 on his head. You know. But I had a couple women were like, it's looking pretty good.
Oh, really?
And then a couple guys on my team actually grew out a goatee too.
Huh.
So we were probably the only team in ACC history with three goateed up white dudes.
It's like the playoff beard with the playoff goatee, or
yeah, it was. I just think it was like, I don't know. I truly don't know what inspired it.
Yeah.
But I show people, like, when I look back on it, they're like, what the fuck were you?
Do you have any photos of that online?
I have something on. I remember, like, there's an old Facebook photo. I think a girl tagged me, and that I can show you. Let me see. Actually, what do we have? Like a 30 seconds here?
Yeah, we can kind of.
Yeah, we got 30
I mean,
seconds.
honestly, like if you shaved your head, like going like looking super Serbian, you would look like Edward Norton in like American History X. Yeah.
No, that's true. Let me see if I can tagged photos of you. I'm gonna go back here. I promise you, you might think like, oh, this is actually not that bad, but I just think as like a college, I don't know, like as just like a college kid, I don't think anyone should have to have a goatee, right?
I mean, yeah, they're a very unique look. I don't even know.
It's
I've never
not-
liked them.
People don't really goatee that much anymore. I feel like
Steven
it was.
Seagal. I mean, Steven Seagal's been holding it down for 50 years. You know.
I mean, people.
Oh, that's true. He
Yeah.
is an angel. He is some kind of
Something
supernatural
else.
being.
I don't know. Like, yeah, the goatee was like a real '90s thing in like early 2000s, maybe.
Like Trailer Park.
Yeah,
Trailer Park.
having a goatee in 2015 was kind of an odd choice.
It's like, is it Cypress or Cypress from The Matrix? The guy who betrays Keanu Reeves. That guy had a goatee. Also a bald icon.
Yeah, no, dude, I had this for way too long.
I wonder if I can find the game. Did you guys win 77-73? Is that game?
No, Duke actually. We were tied at half with Duke, and they beat us by 25, I think.
Who's your money on this year?
Wait, why can't I fucking find this thing now? Money on. I think Duke is going to win this year. Wait, dude, and it was kind of like patchy. I'm trying to. The fact that I can't find this right now. Oh, dude, right here. Yes. Brutal. I mean, this hurts. This hurts to admit. Unreal, right? That's my friend Kristen. Nice gal.
I mean,
Let's get that on the screen.
It doesn't look that bad though.
I mean, you look like an athlete.
It's not really connecting.
I wouldn't even call it a goatee. I don't know if I'm
True. Yeah.
I mean, is that a
like
goatee?
a mustache and a beard?
Yeah. No, it was
chin,
like
a chin thing?
No, it was just like because I saw the baseball dudes were doing it, and I was like, that's sick, dude.
Yeah.
But you connect now. It looks like you got that 5 o'clock shadow.
I could do it. I could probably
Bring
could.
it back.
Dude, yeah. What are you thinking?
You're saying if you got to shave your head, get buff? No. Shave your head, grow the...
If I shave my head, I'm probably bringing back the dude. It didn't.
You
even,
have to, yeah.
Dude, it didn't even connect.
And
Wait, hold on. Your whole life you thought it was connected.
just
This is not
remembering it,
connecting.
That's just disgusting. The thing that's worse about this is that in this picture it's like clean shaven. I'm good to I'm going out that night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Brutal.
You kind of look like a different guy.
Sure.
You look slightly Latino or something.
Yeah, I got it's May.
Maybe you have a tan. I
It's
don't
May,
know.
I got a little bit of a tan.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that like that, you know.
if Alex goes bald, grows the goatee podcast, right?
Tim will be your podcast producer. He'll do it.
I started growing
He'll
this
throw
goatee
up.
as a joke at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
exactly.
Well, I'm glad I got that out, guys. Yeah, that was a weird time. I can't believe I played ball with a fucking. It wasn't even a goatee. It's a mustache, whatever. What is a mustache?
I don't even know what it's called. Like,
A mustache. What is it?
Chin
it's almost
strap.
like a
It's like
soul
chin
patch,
strap.
but it's like
Soul-
no
yeah.
chin strap goes from
Yeah,
ear
chin-
to
The chin
ear.
strap goes all the way down there. Yeah.
No, I was definitely going through something.
It's almost like a V for Vendetta type of thing, but
Yeah.
too thick.
Massive identity crisis.
Totally.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Hurts to admit, but honestly, it kind of grew. I can't believe it. It was kind of thick. Like I
Yeah.
really let it rock for a
Yeah.
second.
It also looks like the color was different too. It looked like
Yeah.
it was brown.
Did you dye it?
I might have dyed it.
It was the sun. Anyway, man. Well, we appreciate you coming through and
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
coming to my girlfriend's loft and yeah, we and everyone can find you. What's your social media handles?
The @AlexDrags on Instagram and TikTok. Check it out. I think I'm going on the road a little bit for the next through May, June. So I'll be out there. I'll be around. I got my dates in my bios.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we appreciate it. Folks, please remember, rate, review, subscribe. And of course, remember this, not all growth is good, but just keep in the back of your head.
Yes.
Yeah.